He's top 5 in the nation in goals average per game. The freshman phenom has come on, and he has been a big part of what this Army offense is all about. Evan Plunkett's shot goes high and wide.
Plunkett, a unanimous All-American in 2024, and Fountain 14th in the nation in goals.
Weisenborn moves around to Eicher. 5 seconds left on the man-up situation for Army. Carolina able to kill it off. Eicher shot, Eicher goal! Jackson Eicher gets things started here at home. Army 1-0, and the cannons go off.
Holy smokes, can he rip it? He gets the ball, and within 1 or 2 seconds, it's in the back of the net. That's his office. It's where he is scoring all season, and he fights through that long pole to finish that shot off and open the contest.
That is goal number 20 to pay the game. One of the top games in the college lacrosse landscape for the entire weekend when it's 2 top 10 teams.
Blackout, the fans came in dressed in black, ready for game action, although team on the field in white today. It's hot.
Plunkett guarded up top by a long stick. Ball on the ground, intercepted almost. Hill Plunkett picks it up. So both Plunkett brothers on the field. Hill, the younger brother of Evan. Eicher feeds it up top, and there's a goal. Gunnar Fellows, 2-0 lead here in West Point.
And those are the levels of depth to this offense, right in the middle of the field, about 10 feet from the net.
Eicher already 2 points on the day, and you see the goal. Fellows wide open, Matthew.
Great play by Eicher. You have to step up and defend number 3 in that situation if you're North Carolina. Great awareness by Fellows to find that small opening and triangulation in between.
Turnovers on the air, 1 today. Duffy up top, he has a shorty, he can take advantage, we know that, and Duffy loses it, but Dom Petramala looks to pick it up, and Petramala does. His brother Nick's on the team, but Dom Petramala, he had an incredible freshman campaign last year. A lot of people know his dad, who's on the coaching staff now. And this coaching staff for Carolina is the winningest coaching staff in America. 631 combined wins between John Thompson and Coach Bresci and Coach Petramala. It's a pretty impressive stat. And the first goal, Dom Petramala pushed into the crease after. Will they call a good goal? We await to see from the officials. Petramala's goal is good, and NC on the board from Dominic Petramala.
What a swim move to cut to the inside and dunk over 2 defenders. Overburn, had a defender on, it was no match, and he was committed to that play, and that's what you like to see from your top goal scorer.
12-time series, 1-4.
Last year, a 1-goal game. This is the first time they're at Michie Stadium since the 1983 NCAA quarterfinal.
Billy Adams with the defense, the defensive midfielder, put some pressure on Carolina with 29 on the shot clock.
That was long before you and I were born.
Long before. I think we just told the entire audience we are pretty young based on that, but we feel old in our hearts.
Think about how long it's been since these two have matched up at the stadium, and now there's the construction going on as well.
Here comes Duffy. He's so quick and versatile. Duffy's goal, 2-2, ties things up. Owen Duffy. All of a sudden, we have a tie game, and Joe Albarisi wants to call a timeout, but Owen Duffy coming from X.
And again, similar situation to the last goal we saw from Petramala. A dash to the net, a one-on-one situation. Not an isolated shot, but an isolated movement. Got the legs pumping, and that's what you get from the 2023 top recruit.
It starts here at West Point. That could really shift around the rankings and the RPI for the entire college lacrosse landscape. Braden Fountain loses the ball in transition in North Carolina. Brett Koopman with the long stick. He'll trot along down the halfway point, and he finds his man in Leif Hager up. Now the offense will reset. Matthew, so after the Duffy goal, we saw him kind of just take it on his own and do a little ISO, and we're seeing Petramala do a little bit of the same thing. Petramala's shot, and it's a goal. Goes right past Sean Byrne. 3-2, Petramala, goal number 2.
There you go, another individual effort, except this time from a distance, cutting across the seam. Looked the opposite way, a little bit against the grain. He picked his spot, and that's a situation where we talked about the nose guarding, the face guarding on defense. You want your best defenders on. Even though he took a few whacks, he still found a way to finish, and that was another goal scorer's goal from a top player for UNC.
So where I was trying to go before Petramala decided I'm going to take this one towards the net and go past Byrne, Duffy and Petramala, both some. Fellows back behind the net. So Army moves around. 2:30 to go in quarter number one. North Carolina on the road with a 1-goal lead. Aiden Weisenborn ties things up in the bottom right corner.
And that's depth scoring right there from Army. Weisenborn, 8 games played, 6 started, his 6th of the season. And this is a first year out of Chicago.
The ball just went right past Gene Forcaro in the bottom, and Weisenborn took it himself.
One-on-one situation, far side. Good look on that shot. I mean, seeing eye shot.
Brady Wambach, who is 3 of 6 today. Carolina bench was looking for a penalty flag. Eicher, one-on-one. Now Eicher will pull things out with 1:25 to go in this quarter.
And that play started 70 yards downfield. Sullivan with massive contact to separate man from ball, and a great way to step up and cause that separation.
Keegan Tracy comes out of the game. He'll plunk it back in for the Black Knights. Brother to brother. Now it's Evan Plunkett. Plunkett with the turnaround. He finds his brother, Hill Plunkett. The brotherly love ties things up, or it gives Army a 4-3 lead,
Plunkett squared, and that's the motion you want to see on offense. Deception to open up avenues, dunking over 2 defenders from range. And this is similar to what we saw more from last season with Army. Finding those lanes, opening things up to give your shooters that
Jersey in New York.
Oh, yeah.
Petramala, he was the intended recipient of the ball pass.
Like that play by Salucci to keep the ball on the ground and just nudge that forward, and he's really stepped up in Toman's absence this year.
No doubt about it. We'll get more into what Chase Salucci has brought to this team as we continue on. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Duffy, he crosses the field. Ty English. English with the shot, and a little bit of English on the end of that one. 4-4.
There's capitalizing on your opportunities, and this is what we talked about at the top of the broadcast, bending and not breaking. And in these situations, we've seen that the defenses on both teams have bent a little bit more than anticipated. This shot finds its way, a heat seeker over the top, and it beats Byrne. A little bit of a moving screen into an open situation, and he had the whole net. He could have picked any spot.
Mark Schroeder kind of just bit and went in front in English. Was like, I'm going to take advantage of this. So that's the issue sometimes with when you have Pilot and you have the others defensive men that really aren't the same as Pilot. So how do you figure out the nose guarding situation? Something we have talked about off air as well in terms of just the talent on this North Carolina attack.
Yeah, you have to pick your poison, and that can be hard when there's some deception going on. You saw a lot of movement in that play to open up lanes, and it can be hard to read, not just man-to-man, but kind of zone play as well.
Under 13 to go in the second quarter. It's a 4-4 game. North Carolina has another possession. They have won 6 out of the 9 faceoffs today. Brady Wambach has had a big impact in getting the possession started.
Bookmark that. That's a really important statistic.
Here comes Duffy. Duffy comes around and he just squeezes past Byrne. 5-4 lead. Carolina takes a lead now.
And both goals out of the stick of Duffy, wrap around and a dart to the net parallel to the cage, and that's what makes him special. He's finding ways to score in all different elements, and that's what makes Duffy a really strong attacker. It's not the situations where he's wide open and
cutting Ryan Levy with the assist. Ryan Levy with the goal. It's a 2-goal lead.
His 10th goal of the season, and again, support scoring is going to be a factor in this contest as well. You see it here. Again, one defender on. There's 2 players at the crease. One of those, Levy. That was very similar to the Fellows goal we saw on the opposite side of the field.
It looked like kids here today. A lot of different club teams. It's a great day to come out to watch some college lacrosse. Two talented programs and lots of tradition, lots of winning. 5 national championships for the Tar Heels. Head coach Joe Bresci, 1 national championship in his back pocket. Last year they went 7-7 though, and they were 3rd out of 4 teams in the ACC. So they did struggle, but they seem to have been rejuvenated by these freshmen and the sophomores as well.
It's been it was a rebuild year, and he was very candid speaking with us about how the team went 7-7 last year. They had a lot of younger players, and with the head coaches, they've really found a scheme.
Jackson Eicher, we just talked about him, and he has his 2nd goal of the day. Gives a 1-goal lead for Carolina, but winded up and was able to pump one past.
There it is, right there. Fellows, he finds his man. There's no one covering one of the top strikers in the nation in Jackson Eicher. And he just unloads that off the back foot, front shoulder.
Time to clear, and they do so successfully. Back-to-back successful clears for this Black Knight squad. Eicher, quick shot after the pass. He'll stay with Army.
Those are the opportunities you do not want to give number 3.
Anytime you can leave him open, he's going to do some dangerous things with the lacrosse stick. Weisenborn up top. Here's Hill Plunkett, 1 goal today. Brings it back to X. A little hot potato from Army. Now Evan Plunkett up top. He had the shorty cutting Eicher, and that's a beautiful pass and a better goal. Tie game here at West Point.
Notice how Fountain got involved there. He set a pick. It allowed Plunkett to get free and find Eicher. That was a great play. Fountain towards the top of your screen. You couldn't see. You saw the end of the screen there, but that allowed the opening. And Eicher's too big and too strong for any defenders to keep him contained in motion, especially with the way he hammers down the twig. So a great play there on a combo of passes from the Black Knights.
An early first half hat trick for Jackson Eicher. Jackson Eicher, the attackman standing at 6'4", junior from Roswell, Georgia. Warrenton, Virginia for Jackson Eicher. Roswell, Georgia for Evan Plunkett. Both those players getting involved with Brain Fountain as well. The entire attack line having some fun. And here's Jackson Eicher again, looking for goal number 4, and he creases the top right corner.
You think he's running at 9 speed, Matt? Jackson Eicher absolutely dropping the hammer here on the last 2 possessions. And this is a player that only played 6 games in 22 and saw no action in 23. Led the team in goals last year, and this is why. I think he learned a thing or two from his teammate Jacob Morin last year, who had one of the best shots in the nation.
The shot, there's 8 freshmen in this class that were in the top 100 this year, and a couple of them have been really good so far. Chase Salucci, someone we have started to talk about a little bit, but when his 5 caused turnovers in that Stony Brook game, which was the most by a freshman in 4 years in the program, you start to really see that this freshman class has had a quick impact on this team.
Yeah, and sometimes it's forcing players to step up into a role.
There's a goal from Brevin Wilson. The freshman from Concord, North Carolina, gets in on the action, tied things up with 1 minute and 5 seconds to go in the first half.
That's what makes these programs special, the depth of both teams, and you're seeing it right now on both sides of the ball. Here's the highlight from that play. A move around the X in the crease. And you see he shifted gears from drive to reverse, found a way around Mazer, and finished that shot off. And sometimes physicality isn't just engaging in
630 wins to be exact between these coaches at their head coaching respective institutions when they were there, and it's by a very large margin towards the number 2, and that's the Duke staff.
That's approximately a year every day for 2 years.
Pretty legit.
Quick math.
12 seconds to go. Army has to go quick. Fountain loses the ball. 5 seconds to go. Plunkett finds Fountain. Fountain has to get a shot off. Fountain gets the shot right before halftime. There's the freshman. He finally gets involved.
And Fountain absolutely rips that. He puts on about 10 moves before he gets to the net. And there he is. We've been talking about him all game for all the wrong reasons. No longer invisible. He is back. Wow, what a
Difficult
shot.
of a shot is that with the time.
Going to be a factor coming down the pike too, getting shots on goal.
Byrne almost loses it, has to get rid of it. The pressure was coming from James Madden. Army does a good job clearing their first offensive possession of this second half. Can they extend their lead to 2 goals? Here in Michie Stadium, we talked about how crucial it could be to get this win from a non-conference perspective, RPI, and that loss to Boston University last week, because it's all Patriot League from here for this Army team, and they need to win as many games as possible to get to the NCAAs as he'll plunk it. He uses his right hand, and on the doorstep, gets the goal. It's a 2-goal lead for the Black Knights.
That was nifty, and he used speed to breach into the zone, and they couldn't slow him down once he got to the outside. Here's how he cuts in. He found the hole. He had a man trailing. All they could do was wave sticks at him, and ISO on the keeper, a great swim move, and we've seen Plunkett pull those moves out away from the net. It was great to see it at the crease and the mouth of the goalie.
Kai Prosko was just trailing him the entire time. Really didn't look like he had a chance, as Hill Plunkett says, see you later.
And that's why that Fountain goal before the half was really important.
Wambach, who has been instrumental today, finds Owen Duffy, who has another face-off win. That's Hill Plunkett's 2nd goal of the day. His 9th of the season. So 2-goal lead. Sean Byrne and this defense are looking to get another stand against Carolina.
Yeah, and Hill Plunkett scored 2 goals in 3 separate games this season. Seeing some steadier pace here out of the gate in the second half.
Plenty of time to go. Under 13 minutes in the 3rd quarter. This game is back and forth. Dom Petramala finds the back of the net. There's Petramala, another goal for him.
And this is what happens when you're facing an elite talent. You and I could talk all day about X's and O's, but these players are the game breakers, and that's a game-breaking goal right there. Just an absolute rifle shot over Burns' left.
Ryan Levy brings it back GLE towards the backside of the net. He has a one-on-one shorty. Up against Mazer. Levy wants to try and take advantage. Good defense from Christian Mazer, the D-Midi, a vital role in any team's attack on the defensive side. Mazer didn't allow anything for Levy.
Great play by Mazer to push him all the way to the outside.
Suchek with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Mason Suchek finds in cross on the doorstep. It's a goal for James Madden.
What a pass and individual effort to switch hands, get the pass through in tight. He pump faked, opened up, and had a man wide open.
Christian Fournier left him for the last second, you see, and they tried to double team, and that caused a late slide.
Those slides are going to be really important. Again, at this point in the game, you're looking to get to the inside.
It's out there with the rest of his team so badly, and Coach Bresci appreciates the leadership that he has brought from the sidelines. Right on the doorstep, Byrne in front, now near North Carolina, and there's AJ Pilot. They're going to call a crease violation on North Carolina, so Pilot will pick it up either way, and Army gets the ball.
And this is why he's the definition of Patriot League Defensive Player of the Year. He just gets involved in every play.
AJ Pilot, according to Inside Lacrosse, an All-American so far in the midseason. There's Jackson Eicher, who has a case to be made as one of the top offensive players in America. Goal number 5 on the day, and Army takes back the lead.
And there's the offense in transition. You saw Pilot make a play on one end, a crease infraction, and then Eicher scores his 5th of the day.
The Virginia native, 5 goals, 1 assist. This guy has been on one, and Army takes the lead with 6:15 to go. Will be evaded this Army team.
Yeah, they haven't been able to stop him. And it's like when the ball's in his stick, now you see it, now you don't. And they have to find a way, if you're North Carolina, to stop that.
Parker Hoffman with the quick shot. Owen Duffy with the pass. Byrne denied. Here comes AJ Pilot. Pilot finds Eicher. back to Pilot, the assist potentially, and it's a bouncer, but great idea from Jackson.
And you love seeing Pilot get engaged in that play, right? Getting upfield, pumping his legs. And this is the bread and butter for Army. And it starts with a burn save.
There's Evan Plunkett who gets it past Gianforcaro. It's a 2-goal lead for the home team in the Black Knights.
Yeah, we've been talking plenty about Jackson Eicher, but don't forget about Evan Plunkett, unanimous first-team All-American, PL preseason Offensive Player of the Year. He had a slew of awards from the league, and this is why. He makes subtle plays.
Achilles heel of this Army team today.
Yeah, they're simply allowing UNC to get possession, and although they're down Coletti, the other players have to step up into that role and try and match. I don't think it was the players' fault for putting all their cards on Coletti today.
That was Simone with the face-off violation, so that's another, and the new rule is Vaccaro has to come in as the next one. Byrne steps out against Duffy. Byrne returns to the cage. But North Carolina starting to move it around a little quicker with a little emphasis as Petramala's shot stopped by Byrne, and here comes a clear. There's Nixon. Nixon finds Eicher. Eicher winds up. Eicher, goal number 6. This offense is on fire, Matthew.
Do you have a second hat to toss, Eicher? This is exactly what the team wants. This is their mold, the model that they play on. It's getting the ball from Byrne all the way upfield within 20 seconds. Eicher, isolation shot from where? Just at
that time with 3:44 to go in quarter number 3.
Yeah, clear attempt, and you're up a few goals. You take the chance on finding fellows, and they just didn't connect on that.
Gianforcaro, 8 saves, or 5 saves on the day, 12 goals allowed. So that save percentage has really gone down for Michael and was coming in as the 3rd best goal allowed average per game in the country, but Jackson Eicher, who has half of the team goals today for Army.
Yeah, career 9-1 record, and he made 87 saves coming into the contest.
North Carolina needs to get a goal to keep this going, and there they are. Ty English. English with his 2nd goal keeps this close. 2-goal game, 3:08 to go in the 3rd.
19th of the season, and they're finding a way to keep it alive and keep it within 2, and that's all they need to do is just keep pace, right? They can turn up at any point, and if they can expose a few holes on the defensive side, this game's wide open. Still the 3rd.
Fellows pressured by the Chase Salucci, who we just talked about. There's Hill Plunkett. Hill Plunkett looking for a goal. Low-high shot. Hill Plunkett, one more away from a hat trick. Younger brother of Evan.
3rd time's this charm. You want to see this attack get a shot on goal with 17 seconds left.
There's Evan Plunkett, the skip pass from Fountain. Army moving around. Less than 10, the shot clock, and there's a goal for Army. This offense is clicking at the right time.
And guess who? Braden Fountain. He found his way down Santa Claus Lane. We'll see here on the replay. A good look. Even though he had Eicher kind of screening the keeper as well, I don't know if because of the defender was in the way and Eicher, if the keeper was able to track that properly with the limited time window that Fountain pulled the trigger. Cadets usually have ice in their veins and they're playing through March and it's freezing here. They've really fortunately had spring start early and they had a really nice weather day today. But what stood out the most for the Black Knights to me was getting back to their game, right? It looked like they were a little bit lost in the defensive end. They weren't scoring as much as they did out of the first 2 minutes. They really got back to their game plan, and that's what great teams do. They find a rhythm back into their identity. They don't just fold when push comes to shove.
James Mann with the shorty, back behind the cage. North Carolina needs to put a little more urgency into their offense. Some juice now as Owen Duffy grabs the ball that was going out of bounds, and Owen Duffy goes right in front of Sean Byrne. Gets one past him. It's a 13-11 game with 8:12 to go, so North Carolina not out of this one, not even close.
I think the Chapel Hill Delis need to name that the Duffy Special, a wraparound goal, right? One-on-one. against Pilot, using his foot speed to just reach across, and we've seen him score that way this afternoon already in the first quarter. He finds a way again.
And for Christian Mazer again, the defense. He's causing all things that go wrong for Carolina, especially on the man-up opportunities. He's done that more than once today.
And you know how comforting that is for your cornerstone defenders in Nixon, Sullivan, and Pilot to have Mazer stepping into that role and helping, becoming a fourth asset on the defensive side of the ball.
Nixon did lose the ball there when they were trying to go in transition, so Carolina does retain possession. They have about 22 seconds on the penalty clock.
It's a slippery slope, too. Look up at the clock, 6:25 and counting. Time is the enemy now for UNC.
10 seconds to go for Carolina. Right in front, and it's a goal. There's Ryan Levy, another goal added to his tally, and it's a one-goal game here in West Point. Penalty is killed off now. It's 6:16 to go.
And this is not unfamiliar territory for the Tar Heels. They played in a similar contest the way this